Yo, welcome back guys, it's your host Kamui here, and today we're talking about Amado's daughter. And yes, this is a manga discussion, so if you're not caught up yet, I suggest you get caught up. So who exactly is Amado's daughter? Is it Eida? Is it Delta? Or is it someone else? Now, Kitomaki made a great theory video about Eida being Amado's daughter, where he tied in some mythology that could be inspiring the series, and I do encourage you to check that video out. However, I have to disagree here, and I don't think that Eida is Amado's daughter, or someone modeled in inspiration of her, or related to her directly. Instead, I think Delta being connected to Amado's daughter holds a lot more weight, and I'm going to explain why in this video here. Now of course, Amado's daughter may be someone else entirely, but I do think Delta at least has some connection to her. So let's first establish why people seem to believe that Eida might be Amado's daughter. It primarily stems from when Eida says that Otsutsuki and blood relatives don't fall under her love spell, and she doesn't specify Amado as an exception to this, which is pretty odd and does indicate that he might be under one of those two categories. However, a lot of people are forgetting some common sense here. Hashirama and Tsunade are blood relatives. Hiruzen and Konohamaru are blood relatives. Hanabi and Himawari are blood relatives. Amado doesn't have to be Eida's father to be a blood relative. He could just be her uncle or grandfather or something and still be a blood relative. Eida didn't specify that it had to be an immediate family member like a brother or a father. She just said blood relative. The next thing is, visually speaking, Amado being Eida's grandfather actually looks more realistic than him being her father. Like, just looking at the characters, Amado looks a bit too old to be Eida's father, and especially Damon's father, but Amado being their grandfather looks an awful lot more realistic just based on how the characters look. In addition, Delta looks to be a bit older than Eida, and she looks like a more realistic daughter of Amado who's already grown up into an adult. Next, Amado always talks about having a daughter, but he never mentions having a son. If his daughter's death was related to Eida being disposed of, then why doesn't he mention his son dying too? Hell, why does he never even bring having a son up? Does he just hate Damon and not care about him? I highly doubt that. Going further on this, Amado seems to very clearly care a lot about his daughter, to the point where people are theorizing that Amado wants to make Kawaki into a second Ishiki in order to grant Amado's wish, which might have been to bring his daughter back. Now, if Amado cares that much about his daughter, do you really see him so nonchalantly letting his daughter or someone modeled after her being disposed of so easily by Jigen's orders? No fucking way, man. He would not let that happen. He would have put massive limiters on her like Code in order to make her really, really weak or something to make sure she could stay alive. Now obviously, if Eida is his granddaughter, it's still a little weird for him to just dispose of her, but I'm not claiming that he's definitely her grandfather. I'm only saying that that would be more likely than him being her father would be. So what else do we have in regards to Delta specifically then? Well, for one thing, in the manga, there is an unofficial translation that actually had Amado call Delta his daughter. And that's because in the Japanese version, Amado calls Delta Musume, hopefully I said that somewhat right, which is the word that is often used to call someone a kid or child. Thus, we had one translation where Amado calls Delta his daughter, whereas the official Viz Media translation had Amado basically saying that Delta acts like a child. But even just ignoring all that entirely, in the manga, during the wish scene in chapter 39, Jigen tells Amado, "Don't worry, Amado, everyone's wishes will be granted, including yours, of course." And then Amado looks at Delta with a sad expression on his face and says, "Yeah, I'm counting on it, Jigen." Which was pretty telling for one thing, and that definitely inspires the whole Amado theory I mentioned earlier. The next thing is, when Amado is leaving the Kara hideout, and Delta confronts Amado and Kashin Koji intends to take Delta out and says, "I'll handle this, hope you don't mind, Amado." Now, why would Amado mind Kashin Koji taking out Delta if there was no connection to his daughter? Like, let's be real here. Amado would not have given a shit if that had been Boro, Victor, or Deepa, and Kashin Koji wouldn't have even asked if it had been them. And then Amado also shuts Delta off instead of just killing her too. Why leave her with the potential to come back if he doesn't care about her at all? So, I mean, pretty obviously he does. So then the question is, why does he care about her? Probably because she's somehow related to his daughter. So, to conclude here, I definitely don't think Eida is Amado's daughter or super strongly tied to her. At best, the connection would be that Amado is Eida's uncle or grandfather, and I guess if he's the grandfather, then the connection is that Delta is Eida's mom or something. However, instead though, I do believe that Delta is the one connected to Amado's daughter. Whether it's like her body, but with her memories lost, or something else entirely. We don't know. I'm not exactly sure how they're tied together. I just think that they are connected, and not Eida. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me that Delta is the one related to Amado's daughter, or do you still think it's Eida? As always, guys, thank you so much for staying until the end. I really do appreciate it. You're in the world of dreams, so subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and hit that bell icon for notifications. Thanks for watching till the end, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.